So we're here at Belmont Skate Park in San Diego. We are here today to get a little skateboarding in and talk about the mental health and the impacts of the military on our mental health, how we use skateboarding as a tool to deal with that and improve the quality of our mental health.
Daddy do what he can, homies think that I'm on. Wish I could give a damn, yeah. I just play with my love, now my world is bland. Meanwhile I see smiles, wish I could do the same. This lifestyle I'm used to, sad but it's true. Not for no likes like you see.
Wish all your stress and be gone. You gotta put yourself on.
My name is Chris Nichols, active duty Navy, served for 7 years now, stationed out in Kings Bay, Georgia for 4 years on a submarine, and now I'm stationed out here in San Diego, Point Loma. From Chicago, Illinois. I started skating when I was like 10, watching Viva La Bam and Jackass, playing the Tony Hawk games. Took a nice break after 15 or 16 years old, and then within the last year, I met the 6 feet above guys. Went to a retreat, started skating again. Been skating for a year now. I had a daughter on the way. Wasn't really happy with the situation I was in life and needed to get away, so I joined the Navy. Joined the Navy to really get my life together and to get away from all the bad news. Pretty much as soon as I joined, it was just one bad thing after another. Took care of my family, it made me grow as a person. I've learned a lot. Yeah, a lot of negative things have happened between me joining and now, but I would say overall it just made me grow into the person I am today. Along the way, I took care of my family and kind of became more professional than I was before, so it affected it in a good way, but a lot of negative things happened. Being away from family obviously is really hard, and you can't expect your dependents or your family back home to really wait for you. And when you do get back home, you're kind of jumping right into where you think you left off, but they may not feel the same way. You know, those were a lot of the hard times. I have 2 little girls. Haven't really been in their lives as much as I'd like to, especially right now. They're in Illinois, I'm in California, and miss them every day. The family aspect kind of goes down the drain. I skateboard to ease my mind, get away from everything. The 4 wheels touch the ground. It's like whatever problem I was facing or anything that's been stressing me out, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on being with friends and just enjoying my time. It's like instant gratification. As soon as you learn something new, you get that adrenaline rush, like, hey, I did it, and you're gonna fall, you're gonna get hurt, just like in life, but you get back up, you try again. Eventually, good things happen from that. If you're struggling with mental health, don't be afraid to reach out to friends at all. Everyone's got their own problems and things that are affecting them, and you never know, because I wouldn't have opened up and talked about what I was going through to a stranger. And so be more open, be open to trying new things, you know, get away, get out of your mind somehow in a healthy way, preferably. Don't resort to drinking or digging a hole for yourself, but really get out there and meet people. You have a lot more in common with them than you think.
My name's EJ Manansala. I'm from Glendale, California, United States Marine Corps veteran. What else was I supposed to? I'm 30, Semper. Yep. Too long. I've been skating too long. That's the answer. 8th grade, like 15, 14. A cheap Walmart board. It had a graphic on the grip and I snapped it the same day. I wanted to experience life away from home and travel the world. The recruiter got me. Been to Hong Kong, Dubai, Bahrain, Kuwait. It made me appreciate the little things like this, like being able to do whatever I need to, what I want to. I'm crazy, honestly. Who wants to wake up at 7 a.m. and slap curbs? Some insane 30-year-old dude. Hit me up, let's go skate. That's it. I put it on mental health, take it a day at a time. That's what I say to myself.
Well, I'm Sophion, and they call me French, and I'm from Simi Valley, California. I was in the Air Force, and I'm 32 years old. Sophomore year of high school? What is that, 15? It's probably way wrong, but sophomore year of high school. I don't know, I always liked the airplanes, honestly, and I just wanted to work on them, kind of figure out what they were about. I wanted to be a pilot, and so I thought that would be a good opportunity to get school paid for and kind of travel and do that whole thing, and kind of just did it right out of high school. I worked on F-16s. I was an avionics troop to fix those computers and avionics systems, flight controls, all that kind of fun stuff. I spent a whole year in Korea. That was probably my longest deployment. Traveled around from Nellis Air Force Base to Phoenix Air Force Base. Yeah, around the States mostly, and Asia, Alaska and stuff, but didn't really travel too much, not as much as some other folks. Speaking of jets, by the sound, that's a Pratt & Whitney F-100. Yeah, positively I think affected my life. I think anyone's life really kind of brings structure to it, gives you a good restart point. For me, it's been only positive. I only look back and remember the good memories. It's helped me tremendously, whether it be employment opportunity, connections, knowing guys like you know, community. So if I had to do it again, I'd do it twice. I like the mental challenge as far as the physical challenge. I gravitated towards it as a kid. I think it's just the act of trying something like over and over again. I don't know, I think it's Andrew Huberman talks about that, where it's just like trying to get something right every time. So it's the challenge, getting to hang out with your friends. What's better than that, right? Get out and do stuff like this. I think the hardest part is getting out to your door, kind of making yourself do that part and get yourself around people is the biggest thing. Even if it's just doing, going to the beach doing nothing. I think it's getting out, communication. I think people recluse a lot and keep to themselves. I think that's no good. I mean, that's why people have sponsors and stuff like that. I think you should make yourself go out and talk to random people if you have to. It's life or death at that point, really.
Hi, I'm Trevor Showicker. I'm 28 years old from Thousand Oaks, California. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Navy. I've been skateboarding as long as I can remember. Dad was into skateboarding when he was a kid, and so naturally he taught me how to skateboard as soon as I could walk. I guess the first board that I ever skateboarded was like an old school like GNS board from the 80s or something like that. It was super sick. It was super small and unconventional to skate. I joined the Navy in 2013 because I went to community college for a year after I graduated high school. Decided that college wasn't for me at that point in my life, and so I wanted to get rolling with a career. Summarizing how the military's affected my life is kind of difficult because I've had a lot of highs and lows. I've had a lot of really tough times that I've gone through. If I didn't have those experiences, I don't know what kind of person I would have been shaped into. 2020, I was part of an amphibious movement happening right outside of San Clemente Island. Basically what was supposed to happen is we were practicing a beach assault. And so what we were doing is we were offloading all the crafts and all of the Marines off of the ship and putting them onto the beach. My unit was the Beachmaster unit, and we were landing LCAC. During that event, the Marines were also coming up on the beach with their AAVs, which are like the amphibious tanks. Unfortunately, what had happened during the operation, one of the AAVs sunk. 11 Marines passed away, and they sunk in the AAV, flooded with water, and they went straight down to the bottom. That event caused me to develop a condition called post-traumatic stress disorder. It's still hard for me to verbalize what happened, and caused me to shut off my ability to connect with people emotionally. Disconnect from the world, the outside world, and what's going on, and it gives something to focus on and something to clear my head with. When my mental health was really bad, I was in a bad mindset. It was hard for me to make good decisions in a bad mindset, and it really prolonged the process of me being able to help myself. For anybody who's struggling with mental health, just try to focus as hard as you can during your clear windows when your mental health is good. Make appointments for yourself, follow up with the doctors, be persistent, because the sooner you'll get help, the sooner you'll be better.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Zachary Sales. I am the CEO and founder of Official Military Skate. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Beatrice, Nebraska. I currently reside in San Diego, California. I founded Official Military Skate as a community kind of place for military and military veterans to have a place within the skateboarding community. Actually, the first time I ever met my biological father, I was 14 or 15. First time I met him, he drove from Denver, Colorado out to Nebraska, and he brought this board from a sporting goods store. It's called a Crown board or something like that. Instantly hooked, fell in love with it. A year later, my mom bought me a Rob Dyrdek Alien Workshop board with their tax returns, and I've been hooked ever since. Kind of on a whim. I graduated high school May 17th, 2009, and literally May 18th, 2009, I walked in the recruiter's office and I said, sign me up. My dad was a Marine, my grandpa was a Marine. I didn't want to get stuck in Nebraska for the rest of my life like everybody else in my family. I wanted to go to college, wanted to travel the world. I was able to do that. Military paid for 2 degrees. I've been to like 6 countries, lived all over the world, got to do a lot of cool stuff. And I was able to follow the tradition of the Marine Corps like my father and my grandfather. So that's kind of why I went the Marine Corps route. So the military affected my life in a couple different ways, positive and negative. Made some really long-lasting friendships. People that we say in the Marine Corps, or at least the military in general, like the person to your left and your right, you want them to have your back. So the people that I've known for. I was in for 8 years, so the people to my left and my right, I looked out for them. They looked out for me. We made good, lasting impressions, and they're going to be friends, like brothers, sisters for life. So that was a huge up for me. Downside, the transitioning back into a regular civilian life was very difficult. I definitely suffer from anxiety. I don't get along well with most people. Social media and creating this community has kind of been the counter to that, and I've been able to basically take the 2 aspects of my personality and create this niche community where I have other like-minded people. I like to say that you have skateboarders who fall down, get up, try the same thing over and over again. You have a very resilient person, and you have the military who are so driven to accomplish whatever they're doing. A very accomplished, mission-oriented person. You take a resilient person, you take a mission-oriented person, and it's really a mentally tough person that you have with those 2 communities kind of meshed together. So I skateboard because I need to. I literally crave skateboarding. Something just so free-spirited. You have the military, which is so rule-focused, everything's very structured. And then you have skateboarding, individuality, this freedom to do whatever you want. It's not a team sport, you're not relying on other people. Your limits on a skateboard are limited by your imagination, basically. So rather than be bound by rules, I'm able to express myself and at the same time have fun with my friends. Takes you out of your zone. All the problems that you're dealing with kind of melt away, and you're in that focus. If I'm struggling with something at home or I'm having an issue, if I go skateboard, I'm not concerned about that anymore. I'm concerned about having fun, concerned about landing a trick, letting everything else fall away. And so it's a really comforting, it can't have its, I'm what most people will call an angry skater, but at the end of the day, it's just a huge relief and a huge way for me to just relax. Helps me get the weight of the world off my shoulders. If you are struggling with your mental health, the biggest thing I can say to you, and I can't stress this enough, and other people will probably say it before me, and other people are gonna say it again, talk to somebody. Whether it's a friend, a 1-800 number, call the Veteran Suicide Crisis Line if you're that serious where you're thinking about hurting yourself, or if you're just having a bad day, reach out and talk to somebody. The worst thing you can do is let something fester and just stay inside your mind. We have a saying in the military, and it's, bad news doesn't get better with time. And so if you're struggling with bad news and you're just letting it fester, it's only gonna get worse. If you have a bad idea in your head, you have a bad thought in your head, and you're not doing something to proactively deal with it, it's just gonna get worse. Don't let it become worse than it needs to be. Get the help you need, talk to somebody. You can DM me on Official Military Skate on Instagram. Reach out to 6 Feet Above. They're a veteran nonprofit that are there for veterans who deal with those kind of mental health issues, and they do a lot of skateboarding, influence type mental health behavior as well. There's so many resources, just take advantage of them. Find the resources, talk to somebody, and take advantage of them as soon as you can. Don't put it off. I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out today, that came out to shoot this documentary. Thank you to the cameramen, thank you to the photographers, thank you to my fellow veterans, thank you to the friends that came here to support this idea for this documentary. It means a lot. This is something I've had in my mind for a while, and I'm really hoping that my ability to convey this in a video really helps other people that are, out there struggling. Like, maybe a veteran sees this and they pick up a skateboard and it helps them with their mental issues. Maybe it's not a veteran. Maybe a civilian sees this and you think, like, hey, if it works for them, it could work for me as well. And so I'm just really hoping that the end all be all of this documentary is that it just helps somebody, and then maybe that person's able to help somebody, and it's just, trickle down effect. I'm just hoping that this yields some fruit. Again, I can't stress enough, if you need help, talk to me, talk to one of the guys, just talk to somebody.
That's what I say to myself, take it a day at a time.